Hey, you beauties, what's going on? Week 8 here for Shop Life. Thank you for tuning in and joining me on this journey while I try to make a successful business making furniture. It has been a roller coaster of emotions here over the past few weeks, ups and downs. Last week, I thought I was going to have to close the doors on the shop. This week, I actually think I can make it as a woodworker. We've had a good week, a little unfocused, but it was good overall. So let's dive into it. I'm working on the light table for D&D still. Is coming along, it's chugging along. I got everything pretty much ready to go. I don't know if you can see it, but just over my shoulder here, that is the stand. And then I have the acrylic just sitting behind me, nice milky white. I'm just testing out the LEDs before I kind of assemble everything, but that is chugging along very nicely, and I'm very happy with how it's looking. And it did take a little bit long, or it's taking longer than I thought it would. Just some design challenges and things that I kind of were just making up on the fly, but we're working through it. One of them is the LEDs. I thought I would be able to daisy chain them all together, but with the ones that I got, it looks like each one is paired to a separate remote. So I'm just looking into making sure, or seeing if I can get them all on one remote so my client doesn't have to have 3 remotes to turn off all their lights. I also was working on the hat racks, and by me, I mean Brendan and Liam were able to come by. Both of them had the day off and were able to come out to the shop and help me out. So I had them working on the stock, getting it cut to final width and cross cut to final length. And so they were ready for the CNC, because the next day I ran them on the CNC and got all the hooks cut out. I had to, or I'm still working on it, to get the CNC'd profile pass for the keyholes worked out a little bit better, just because I've lost a lot of good bits. For some reason, it doesn't like cutting those keyholes, and when I have about 100 of them to cut, those bits snap pretty easily. So I'm just working on trying to do a relief tool path just to take out some of the excess material before that bit goes in there, just to kind of take the stress off there. So I'll be running that this week, hopefully. I got the XL chopping boards done. They turned out wicked, very heavy, very sturdy, but I had 3 of them. There was a big one and then 2 small ones. Turned out fantastic. I'm really happy about them. So they're up on my Etsy if you're curious, and they'll be wrapped up here soon when I have foam coming in. Brendan was actually able to come out 2 times this week, which was nice, so it was double the fun. He came out on Monday with Liam to work on the hat racks, and then he came out on Wednesday, which is kind of his regular day. So we were working on the dog bowl station. It's coming together awesome. He's having a lot of fun making it. So this past week we worked on getting the holes cut out for the bowls. He brought those in. We did some calculations. I showed him the CAD and CAM software that I use, and kind of was just running him through kind of what we were doing. And then we actually CNC'd those out, which looked really nice. And we even threw both their names on there, engraved the names directly into the top of it. And we played around with some of the designs. We were really just going to keep it square, but after looking at it, I think it needed a little bit of something extra. So we cut a couple curves in it, just to give it a little something extra, and it turned out awesome. Brendan then was able to router everything, soften all the edges, and it's crazy what a little bit of routering does. It changes like the whole entire landscape of the project. So it's looking awesome. Etsy's been pretty good. We got some more couch tables, so I glued up all of those this week as well. So they'll be getting going next week, and then all the Lazy Susans that I had were actually shipped out today as of recording. I got those all done, got them sprayed, boxed up, and shipped out. But they did use up all of my foam, so I am gonna have to put in a foam and box order this week. Speaking of some of the expenses, let's talk about the money in, money out this week. So we had a pretty light week this week, because I think a lot of stuff's gonna be coming in next week. But for income, we had about $500 in for a custom breadboard. Someone reached out to me on Etsy and asked for a custom size, so we got that going. I made a little bit from a Lazy Susan, again, a custom order. This one's massive. It's like a 30-inch Lazy Susan, so it's gonna be one of my Lazy Susans with the weave in it. So I just talked to them the other day, and I just had to send them the invoice, but that's going out to Colorado, I believe. And then just from my standard stuff, the couch tables, a couple of my digital files and stuff, we pulled in about $310. And if I didn't say the Lazy Susans, that was about $400. So whatever that adds up to, it will be right here. And then expenses, just like last week, $175 for heating, $100 for gas, $527 for my rent, $75 for utilities, and then a big one was my wood order came in, so that was about $2,500 that I needed to spend to get all that. So that was a bunch of walnut, cherry, maple, some white oak and stuff for my hat racks to get those going, and then for the SNES table, that was all included in there as well. And then I had about $142 in Amazon stuff, so I just needed to get some Lazy Susan bearings, and some new cutting board oil because I was almost out after doing those big chopping boards, and then just some little knickknacks for the shop, which I can't remember what I got, but I had to order them. I think the income is going to be better next week because I booked another game table, potentially 2 more, which is going to be great. And this was with my new spreadsheet. I was able to get quotes out faster, and I'm a lot more confident in these numbers. One, I actually went through and sat down and kind of calculated everything and gave everything reasonable rates, not being like, I can get this table done in 4 days and only charging 4 days labor. Not being afraid to charge what I'm worth. I have a shop, I have overhead. I've been doing this for a while now. And realizing like I have skills and people need to pay for the skills. And so I went through and was really diligent in making those numbers actually reflect my work and what I actually need to survive, making sure I'm covering the overhead. So I'm really excited because I was like, I've never sent a quote that high before. And when they came back and they're like, sounds good to us. It's a really good feeling to know that I could have been charging that a lot more. And then the other 2, I'm pretty sure they're a go. Like it was a 99% chance they said yes. So like the next couple weeks, I think the profits are going to be pretty big because I'll be sending out some more invoices. And then as well, I should be sending out a couple, like the light table and the SNES table should be going out as well. So in the next couple weeks, it should be well above average. As normally as a business owner, you kind of have those ebbs and flows. I don't think I mentioned this in any of the other previous weeks, but one of my previous clients, when I did the hexagon table, that's at a gaming store, or a board game store, and they are actually taking to a Vancouver gaming convention, so they're actually highlighting it, and they asked me to send along a couple some advertising stuff. I'm going to be making them some extra accessories to show off at the show, and hopefully that will drum up a little bit of business because that's pretty much my exact niche that I'm searching for, and all those people are big board gamers because you don't usually go to a board gaming convention unless you like board games. So I'm really excited about that. I was really happy that they reached out to me and was like, hey, we're showing off your table. Do you want to send us some marketing materials so that we can highlight your table and get it out to as many people as possible? So they're an awesome client, so I'm really excited to partner with them. So that's coming up, I think, in the first couple weeks of March. So that tells me I need to get my butt in gear and get kind of a 1-pager with my updated prices and some pictures and kind of a list of accessories and everything, nice branding and stuff, all that yada yada, and get that sent off to them quickly so that I don't miss out on this opportunity. Along with those highs, there's always a little bit of lows, but like I said, not a huge low week. It was pretty on the up and up towards the end of the week. The only really thing that kind of happened this week is just like I didn't feel that motivated and that focused in the shop. Every time I came into the shop, it felt like I was doing a million things but not getting any progress on any of them. So I'm really kind of realizing that I need to focus on the things that are making me money, and in specific, that's my game tables and my dining tables and those larger furniture pieces. As much as it scares me that when I don't have those coming in and then I try to fill it with those smaller projects, I end up shooting myself in the foot because I get all these smaller projects that don't make me a ton of money but take all my time away from advertising or marketing, or when I do have a table, I have to get these other projects out, and it kind of hurts me in the end. So I think I'm going to start really just focusing on those big projects, especially with the ones that I think are coming in, really just dedicating my time to those big projects. And then if smaller ones do come in that makes sense for me, that are a good price point and a good margin, taking those on, but letting the customer let the customer know that they may take a little bit longer because I do have other projects, and that those ones are kind of just filler projects, getting them done in between other things that are going on with the tables. But I think moving forward, I'm really just kind of trying to get into that mindset that I need to just focus on the things that are making me money and continue to do that, because that's how the business grows. So like I said, that was really the only like setback or the challenge that happened this week, and I'm really glad that that was the only one. But it is kind of a big one when you're not focused, you're not doing anything, or you don't feel like you're doing anything. It's kind of not motivating to get all the rest of your stuff done. But the nice thing about it is that I have realized it. I am realizing and trying to work through that. So these next couple weeks, I think, are going to be a nice change of pace and getting my mind focused on getting those game tables and those dining tables out so that I can make more money. My only recce this week is a podcast that I continually listen to and have fallen in love with. It is Woodworking is Bullshit, episode 30 with Nick Padula. The three of them had an amazing conversation. Nick is an incredible craftsman working out of Australia, and he has an amazing YouTube channel that does some crazy projects, and they had some really good conversations about design and iterating and kind of influencing and what is kind of influence versus ripping off kind of thing. It was a really good conversation. I highly recommend it. Their podcast is awesome. They always have good guests and they always have really good conversations. But I think that's everything. Thanks for tuning in. If you find me mildly amusing or would like to support me on this journey, hit that subscribe button and check me out on all my socials. Or if you want to buy anything or know anybody that does, hit me up. Bye.